Damn, what is that, bro?
Hello, Christopher here, and today I'm going to be building the Natural History Museum set. It cost me quite a pretty penny, a lot of money actually. So I'm going to build it and upgrade it later on in the video. I also have another set, the Lego Ideas set, that I'm going to be combining with to make it a very better Natural History Museum. So we're going to get started on the Natural History Museum and combine the sauropod dinosaur skeleton with the Lego Ideas fossils and plus a whole other bunch of goodies and upgrade it and make it much larger than from this to this. This is how big it's going to be in scale, and it's going to have on the inside the front desk where people can be greeted and of course get passes and into the museum. So this will be the front desk, and over here with the Triceratops hortus being right here and the skull being right above the desk, and of course the T-Rex, and a little paleontology section in the back where people can learn about paleontology, dig up fossils and learn more about the field of paleontology. And of course I built a mammoth skull, a custom mock of a mammoth skull that looks very elephant-like, very mammoth-like. And of course, let's start building. So I got the flooring in. We have a nice floor pattern to the museum. I have the front desk over here. And in the middle is going to be the gift shop. And over here, where this gray spot is going to be where the sauropod's going to go. And maybe a few other skeletons can fit there if I have room. So let's get started on building the sauropod and skeleton and getting that placed in. So I finished the floor and the walls and the entrance. I added leaves and flowering plants. We added the new sauropod, long-necked dinosaur, to the museum. Plus we added in the Pteranodon last, my least favorite prehistoric creature. And then we have the T-Rex in the back, and now I'm gonna start up the walls next. Day 2 of working on the Lego Natural History Museum. Lego Museum. I already have my minifigure up at the front. I'm already starting to work on the walls, as you can see in green all the way around. We've installed the mammoth skull and plus the saber-toothed cat skull in, plus the gift shop. I kind of wanted to have the gift shop in the middle, but I had to compromise and put it off to the side. I may have to move the counter to add the staircase. We'll see. So yeah, we have all of the dinosaur skeletons, and maybe if I have enough room I might be able to add some Stegosaurus plates off to the side for the paleontological hall. And of course we'll add the bones, like where the clips are on the walls, to give it like the feel of bones being on the walls, you know, give it that
paleontological feel of a rocky like ledge with bones sticking out being good. And yeah, I'm going to start working on the walls and getting to the second floor, which will hopefully I'll get to today. But I need to work on the windows, and yeah, I'll get to work on the second floor hopefully today, and the windows and installing the door. So I'm going to do that. Progress update: I completed the windows on the museum on the outside, and they absolutely look remarkable. They're truly beautiful. I copied them over from the instruction manual, and you can see inside the front desk and a little bit of the Triceratops beak. On the other window, I completed that, and you can see a little bit of the saber-toothed cat head. And in the window of this window, I'm planning of putting a Dimetrodon, a Permian creature, in the window of this window. And the door will most likely be a different day, because the door, well, there's a lot of architecture going on with the door. So what I plan on doing now is working on the upper story and planning on what the upper story will be with the space and the earth and geology part. I also want to do a little bit of history of my Lego city in this museum, but I know I can't add everything because I'm crunched for parts. I don't have that many parts because, well, I don't know how many layers I'll be able to wrap around this entire building, or if I'll have enough. So I'm probably going to make this second story about minifigure high, like height, with the minifigures, them being a certain amount of blocks tall, and that's how big the second story will be. So I'll add that in, and you'll get to see the final product of the second story of the museum, and the door in the entrance, and of course what the exhibits will look like in the second story. So I'm going to build that now. Progress update on the Lego museum. I got the doors and the window installed, and I know that I wasn't going to do the doors today, but I just made it the door, got it started. And this is the front entry door, some windows and a shelf behind that, and a window. And then I started on the upper story with 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers of flooring, and probably another layer, just to give it some strength to the second floor. And I was going to make the second floor minifigure high, but it's a little bit bigger than a minifigure, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit bigger than a minifigure, or maybe a little less if I run out of parts. We'll see. And other than that, I'll continue working on it, and that's the whole entire progress of the build so far. Okay, day 2 has ended, and I got a lot done with the door and the windows. I didn't think I'd get that much done with small details like that, but the windows came out beautiful, I'd say, and I started to work on this one too. However, I decided to stop working on the museum for today and complete work for day 2 is completed with the windows, and of course I added in this extra window that wasn't from the set. I nearly completed the front. It's almost complete. I still have to add the columns that went with the set, the museum set, and of course the inside, the interior, of course, has to be figured out, including the staircase where that will go. Paleontological Hall is looking awesome and cool. Let's see inside mammoth skeleton, pteranodon, sauropod, and all the cool paleontological stuff that will go on in there. So I'm really happy how it's turning out with the windows, the door, the exterior, and interior as well. So day 2 has concluded. Now we're going to be moving on to day 3. On day 3 of building the Natural History Museum, I finished building the outer windows, including the window on the right of the building and the window in the middle of the building. I also, in between, added the museum sign to the outer, and I started working on the interior, including the railing and completing the flooring, and then adding the outside flooring, the polished flooring last. Of course, I will be adding that next, including another wall on the left hand side of the building, and started working on the back of the building. I also started figuring out what would go on the inside of the bathroom, and working on the other right wall where the pteranodon is. We need to add railing to make sure that minifigures don't fall off. Oh my. With the floor finished and the railings in, so no minifigures fall off, I added a nice floor pattern with a U. You can definitely see the U. And I added a nice walkway and figured out what the pattern of the bathroom floor will look like. Bathroom will still take a little bit more time to design and figure out what it will look like, the interior. And pretty much this area of the museum will go to geology and rocks and space in the corner with planets and all sorts of stuff like that. And over here in the left wing of the museum have the history of my Lego city with a pirate hat over there and a type of helmet, armored helmet. It's a long story, so I forgot to mention that I added windows in the back, and also I feel like I have enough parts to almost complete the back side of my build. The last things of day 3 include a clock and another wall. Overall, museum looks absolutely spectacular. On day 4, I added in the banners, added a rocket ship to the space exhibit, added the planets, and on day 5, I added in the columns and the fencing in the front of the exterior of the building. On day 6, I made the vegetation. And on day 7, I made the roof with the little hooks at the top to hold on to the platform for the window cleaning. The entire roof is made up of white Legos, dark gray Legos, and different light gray Legos. I added this bench on day 6 as well, along with the light post and mailbox in the far left corner that you saw previously. On day 8, I made the office where scientists and paleontologists can work on small fossils. There's a typewriter in there, a lamp, and a little microscope. There's a box to hold magnifying glasses and what other scientific tools, as well as was on the inside, 2 tables and a lamp, fixed with beautiful windows. And on the side there where the studs are sticking out will be a ladder for a fire escape. On the inside of the museum there are 2 stairs on both ends of the museum. The stairs are pretty steep stairs. There's also a handrail on each one side of the stairs. On the second floor you have different maps of My Lego World, a pirate exhibit along with space and geology and rocks. On the other side, in that corner over there, is a bathroom. Down below is Paleontological Hall, as I've stated before. It comes with a Triceratops on the right, a sauropod dinosaur there, the long neck, a saber-toothed cat, a T-Rex, a woolly mammoth skull, paleontological dig site where you get to interact and learn about fossils, and a gift shop in the corner below the flight of stairs over there. And a T-Rex, and my least favorite prehistoric creature, a Pteranodon. On day 9 I built the roof along with this beautiful design for the front of the building is now complete, with the roof almost finished. The top of the roof is still in the works, along with the walls, windows, and the final story of the building will be soon complete. I've added windows, walls, a door to the roof of the building, and pretty soon there'll be another layer roof on top of that, finishing up the building, and it's almost complete. Well, the museum building has mostly come to a close. There are some parts of the museum that will remain incomplete because I don't have enough resources to fill in all of the spots, but they'll be at one point in the future. This building will be completely complete, and I will cover it in a future video. But we got most of the walls done. The front with the columns, the tree, the posters on the front to show the different exhibits of space and prehistory and paleontology, and of course the mailbox, all the green flowers and light post and bench, and the roof is installed with a beautiful dark gray, white, and light gray color scheme, with hooks on the top to attach the little window cleaning. And this museum looks absolutely beautiful. Of course, it's not completely complete because I ran out of resources. I know it's a little embarrassing to admit, but I have to admit, to be honest, I didn't have enough parts to complete this whole entire upgrade, but it will be at some point, hopefully in the future, complete. So
thank you all for watching. This is Christopher signing off.